What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. Today, we're going to take a little bit of a look into the market of basketball cards and kind of what it's been doing collectively over the last, couple of years. And I've always been interested because I made a comment. Excuse me. I made a comment the other day as I was making the video regarding PSA's $18 submission price that in all actuality, resale value, when you're talking about cards that are worth less than $200, as is the restriction for the $18 price point, or the $18 grading price. Resale value is not that. I mean, it's not that big of a thing whenever you're trying to decide where you're going to send your cards to get graded. And so, actually, between SGC and PSA. And one of the things that I wanted to look at, I made that comment because right now the market is down, just overall down. And it's kind of hard to really pinpoint, like what the current market is. Is it strong? Is it going down overall? I mean, we could pick individual cards that we want to look at and we can track the prices of those individual cards. But I think, one of the hardest things to do is to look at the market just overall and decide what it is that it's doing and what it's currently doing. Those of you who are into finances and investments and stocks and all that stuff, you're familiar with the S&P 500, the Dow Jones industrial market and all that stuff. Those are, sort of like collective markets that follow very specific investments and track them over time as a collective index fund to determine whether or not markets are healthy or whether they're going up or going down. Now, without getting too much into the details of all that, what the folks over at Hedge have done, and those of you know that the Hedge has been a sponsor of the channel for quite some time, so they're developing a lot of really good tools as part of the Hedger website that'll allow you to track markets overall. So I wanted to get into that a little bit because it was funny that I had been thinking about it and trying to figure out, where I could just kind of track the market overall. Reached out to my boy JD and the folks over at Hedge and said, hey, do you guys think it might be a good idea to put together an index fund for the card market? And he's like, we're launching that in the next week. We've already been working on it. So, which was great. It means that we are in sync. So I'll jump over here real quick. So this is the Hedge website, cardhedger.com. If you are interested in signing up for their service, there's a link down in the description. They are a partner of the channel, and I do have an affiliate. So if you do decide that you want to sign up, you can do so using the link below, and it does help out the channel. Also, you don't have to sign up to get pricing. So you can just go to their website, go to cardhedger.com, and you can search for current comps and things like that. I think you get a very basic review of what the price is, and then you can get full 30-day history. If you're looking for that, you have to sign up for the tool. So I mean, it's a great place to get some information. So once you sign up for the app, and if you do sign up for it, you will have access to the entirety of the tool, which is what we're seeing here. And there's a new section here called indexes. We'll get into that in a second. One of my favorite things, and I've talked about this several times, is this compare tool. I love this thing. This is probably my favorite piece of the entire tool, of the entire website, which allows you to take two cards and compare them. For example, actually, let's not do that. Let's go King Griffey against Derek Jeter's rookie card, and you get to see kind of pricing, right? And they're both in a PSA 10. These are PSA 10 prices. Wow, and actually, a Derek Jeter is only $500 in a PSA 10. That's interesting. I mean, it is a Topps paper, is what it looks like, and this is an upper deck. But yeah, okay. So anyway, you can compare. You can actually compare the same card, for example, and this is one of my favorite things to do, is compare SGC 10. So I can compare a PSA 10 to an SGC 10. And, there you go. So there's your price difference. I like to do this a lot whenever I'm trying to decide where cards are going to go to get graded and stuff like that, and whether or not it's even, if you get a SGC 10, you're going to pay X amount of dollars, whatever the case may be. It helps you make a decision as to what the best place to send it and all that stuff if you're looking to flip and all that. Anyway, I just want to show you guys that because it's like one of my favorite things on the whole tool. And then obviously you got the dashboard. I am starting to add more and more cards to my collection. I haven't done so. I haven't really taken the time to do so. But I am starting to add more and more cards to my collection, and then I'm gonna do a whole video of like what's my collection, what it's worth, and so on and so forth. Some of you have asked that in the past, like, hey, what's your collection look like, and dollar wise. As you guys know, I don't spend a whole lot of money on cards. I have a very strict budget, and I'm very particular about what I buy. So we'll get into that. We'll get into my collection later on sometime as I start to build more and more and more. But what we're going to look at today is these indexes. So far, there's 2 of them in there, one for basketball, one for baseball. The other sports are like in development, football and all that stuff. But what's interesting about this index is looking at it and saying, okay, there's a value to the overall market, the overall basketball market. And what's interesting is looking at, going all the way back to its peak, which was December 6th of 21. So we're talking over a year ago, how much the market has significantly dropped. I mean, we were almost at $250,000 for the index, and we'll get into what's in this index in a second, but now we're hovering around 180, 185,000. So it's been a pretty significant drop. The last 30 days hasn't been much change. It's been pretty stable since about April of this year, where it took a really steep drop. But since then, it's been pretty flat. Not much movement at all. It's been pretty slow. And again, pretty flat. But if you look at the 6-month change, so over the last 6 months, I mean, we had a 30% drop. And then, of course, about a year ago, it's been significantly more than that. So it's been about a 40 to 50% drop since about a year ago. So the general statement that basketball cards overall are down, just down in general, it's a accurate statement. You can say that. Obviously, we all know that, but you only know that as individual cards. Dude, I'm doing a video. What do you want?
Can I be in the video?
No, you cannot be in the video. What happened?
Is it okay if I eat this?
Is it yours?
No, but...
So if it's not yours, then it's not okay if you eat it. Whose is it?
Well, nobody ate it, so nobody...
Okay, but you got to find out whose it is first before you go eating other people's stuff. That's not right.
I think...
Would you like it if somebody ate your ice cream?
No.
Okay, so you got to find out whose it is, and then ask them if it's okay if you can have some. So go put it back in the freezer and find out whose it is first before you start eating other people's stuff. Because that's not nice. Okay?
First, let me ask.
Okay, I think you should ask Mom first. Close the door, please.
Where is Mom?
Okay, well, you got to talk to her first. I'm leaving that in there. That's it. I mean, those of you who have been long subscribers of the channel and supporters of the channel know that that happens from time to time. I'm a dad. It is what it is. I'm not going to edit this out, even though I can edit. I'm not going to edit that out because it's a teachable moment for these kids. Anyway, moving on. So what was I? The statement that basketball cards overall as a whole are down is a pretty accurate statement. Now, we can say that even more accurately on a card by card level, but I think the fact that the folks at Card Hedge put together this index is great because you're able to track it as a whole, as a collective, right? And so if we take a quick look at what's actually in this index fund, this is where it gets really interesting because I feel like there's some really good representation in here. And I'm not even going to sit here and act like I know all of these cards, but I know the majority of them. But check this out. George Mikan or McCon 1948 Bowman basketball is in here, representing the vintage of the most vintage of vintage. Bill Russell 1957 tops, and then we got some modern stuff, modern players with a Steph Curry, rookie card, LeBron James rookie card, quite a few Michael Jordan cards in here that you would not think. I mean, this is just an oddball Michael Jordan card from 1985 that would probably be considered to be a true rookie card. The Star Basketball, big announcement from PSA that they're now accepting Star cards to be graded, so that's starting to jump up now. But there's a lot of really good cards in this index. Julius Erving, Michael Jordan 86, Jerry West, more Jordan, Jordan Crunch and Munch from All Star, Crunch and Munch basketball, Jordan. So those of you that don't know, the Star basketball cards had a Crunch and Munch, which is like the popcorn, I think it was like caramel popcorn. Then they released a Jordan 1985 Star Jordan. The 85 promo Jordan is in here from Nike basketball, which is dope. I mean, I think that I was skimming through this, and it's such a well put together index that I think really represents the entirety of the basketball market. But as we go further, again, more Steph Curry tops. I think the other one was Chrome. This is tops. Regular just tops paper, and then getting into some Kevin Durant, more vintage basketball, which I'm starting to get a little bit more into, but we'll get to there. We'll get that at a different one. The stickers, the 86 Fleer stickers. I mean, that 86 is such an iconic set. I think it's great. This is awesome that this is in here. The Larry Bird, Julius Erving, and Magic Johnson 1980 tops is in here as well. More Jordan Star, Kobe rookies. Bob Cousy, 1957 Topps basketball. Some more Kobe Bryant. We got some Charles Barkley in here. Some James Harden. More Kobe rookies. Hakeem Olajuwon rookie. Kawhi Leonard rookies. John Stockton star basketball stuff in here. Giannis. Kevin Garnett. Shout out to KG on that one. Tim Duncan, of course. I mean, this is a really good collective. Now we're getting into some Damian Lillard, Prism rookies, Luka Doncic rookies, Anthony Davis, Karl Malone, Chris Paul. I mean, this has like I think it's a really, really good representation. Here goes some Zion is in here as well as part of that index. I mean, it's just a well put together. Look, here you got some Tatum, some LaMelo Ball, just kind of a nod to a lot of the modern stuff. Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant. Look at old Reggie Miller there. But again, I mean, I think it's just a really good representation of basketball collecting as a whole. If you are a basketball card collector, aside from your PC, if you love the game of basketball, then a lot of these cards are probably desirable cards to have in your collection. I know for me, as I was skimming through this, I mean, I'm saying, other than like the really old stuff, the 1957 tops, I'm not really familiar with that era of basketball. Obviously, the big names like that come to mind, Bill Russell and those guys. But I'm not really that big on the vintage stuff. But pretty much everything else in here, I'm like, yes, I would absolutely have loved to have any of that. Big Cat rookie card, Donovan Mitchell rookie card. Just a lot of good stuff in here that I think has a good representation. Tony Parker, Nate McMillan. Wow. Shout out to Card Hedge for throwing Nate McMillan in there. Good stuff. Just a lot of good stuff. And I think it's a good representation and a good look at the card market as a whole. So all of those cards collectively, if you took them and lumped them into one category, and they're following that as an index, which I think is great. So anyway, if you guys are interested, again, consider jumping over to Card Hedger. Again, the link's in the description if you guys want to sign up. Just some really great tools that they have here. Again, I showed you guys that comparator tool. They also follow NFT prices if you're into that. I think they're doing NBA Top Shots as well as Topps MLB NFTs. So if you're into that, I'm not even gonna act like I know about anything about that space, but they are following the prices there. just a lot of good stuff. I am going to start adding more to my collection. So here's currently what I have in there at the moment, which is it's not a lot. I only have I only got 14 cards in there. Obviously my collection is a little bit bigger than that, but I only got 14 cards in there at the moment. I'm going to try to get that up more and more. But I'll probably end up doing a video just on my collection alone, and we'll see what that looks like. But I'll jump off of here. Yeah. So again, the card market as a whole is down. I'll ask this question to those of you who are still watching. How does that affect the way that you are buying and selling cards at the moment? I've really, like right now, one of the things that I'm chasing is cheap Luka rookies. I'll give you. I just picked this one up. I picked the rookies, Donruss. I mean, the cheapest of the cheap Luka rookie card. I picked it up for like $40 in a 9.5, or I think 30 something bucks in a SGC 9.5, which I thought was an amazing price. But one of the things that I never thought that I would be actually trying to buy right now is Prism Luka rookie. And so I'm kind of trying to chase that a little bit. So that's kind of how it's changed. Like the market going down has changed the way I'm picking up cards, because there's cards out there now that are within this range that I can buy them at, where I feel comfortable buying them. And so, anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. But I'll okay, good. Let me know what you guys are doing. I mean, the market is down. Are you buying more? Are you holding because you don't want to sell? What's your strategy now that that the markets are moving downward? And do you think they'll come back up? And is there ever going to be another run up like what we saw during the pandemic? I don't think so. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Love y'all. Peace.